Hi, I'm Kathleen Byram, author of Conversations with Donkey, A Bipolar Journey. I'd like to talk today about going to Woodland Hospital, the Psych Ward. When I got there, I didn't walk in. They wheeled me in on a gurney, which was very embarrassing because the people tended to kind of congregate when someone would come in. I had been laying there crying and crying and crying all day. And I was in a very emotional state and very low. And the people gathered around. And it didn't feel like an onslaught. It didn't feel like my borders were being breached. Instead, it felt like people just like me, concerned and wanting and curious too. There's obviously curiosity because this is a person that's going to be living with you for a little bit. And they got me up. They were very kind. They wanted to sit me down in a chair, and it was too small for my butt. I didn't want to risk breaking the chair either, probably, and I told them my butt was too big for it, and she said, "Oh, you're too tall." She was a little petite woman, so she probably thought I was tall. I'm only 5'5.5", but the ridiculousness of that, plus the sweetness of it, really touched me and probably made me cry some more. They had good food there. I'm sure that most people would probably say, well, it's no better than airline food or something like that, but I probably never minded airline food either. I never was very picky. And as you probably know, I'm a large person. Large. And they had dessert often. And dessert could be like a big piece of lemon cake. And I had a friend there who looked like a model who was very, very, very depressed. That's what she looked like. And so she was thin and tall. And I asked her if she wanted my dessert. And she gobbled it. She craved those things. It was probably the only happiness that she had. She was very, very depressed. And every time I would get a dessert, I would let her have my dessert. And she loved me. In fact, she loved me so much that she wanted to know if we could get a room together, because her roommate left and I had my own room. I got lucky and got a single bedroom. And we wanted to be moved in together, but they wouldn't let us, which I figured that. But the thing that I really, and there was a lady that was schizophrenic, and she loved me too. And we would walk up and down the hallway together, holding hands. She was an older lady, and she heard voices, and they were telling her things like that I was talking about her. And it broke my heart, but at the same time I felt so bad for her, and she was trying to make excuses for me to her schizophrenic brain. She was saying, "Oh, you don't know what you're talking, but you don't know what you're saying." It's it it's like she understood this situation that didn't exist. And she never did get upset with me or chew me out. She just believed that, and she came out and told me, honestly. And that was so important to me. Another important thing that happened, there was a lady there who was being moved, taken away. I don't know if she was being taken home or taken away somewhere else or what it was. My head's hurting, I'm sorry. And she expressed to me that she had been abused somewhere in the process of going there. And I talked her into reporting it. I think that was important. Another thing that happened, a schizophrenic boy that was there. I'm sorry for the pause, I was just remembering something that he did. I'm trying not to tell everything because some things might be considered personal. I don't know how this works. I'm new at this business of talking on videos, as you can probably see. And it's I'm kind of a weird one. Anyway, the aides were nice. Everybody was nice to me. And we were sitting in the break room with the TV going and couches and things, and we were sitting there with two aides, and I could tell they were very comfortable with us. They were relaxed and enjoying time off, I think. And my schizophrenic male friend that was there, a different one than the other one I was talking about who was female, he was there, and he was very stiff and rigid, and he would not blink at times, and he was sitting there like that. And I'm ashamed for them to tell you what they were saying. They were calling him roly-poly and saying blink to him. And he just sat there. And I said, I feel like I'm in high school again. And one of the aides said, why? And I said, and then I gave it to him. And I was kind. But I explained to them that they were professionals and that they were there to be taking care of us, and that they owed us respect too, and that what they were doing was inappropriate. And I said it in a good way, but I got my point across, and they didn't say a word. They didn't get up. They may have been mortified, I don't know, but they both just sat there like they were in another world or stunned or something. Do you know how much I risked in my own head by doing that? That was outrageously brave. They could have put me in a suit and stuck me in a room somewhere and did things to me. There's no telling what they could have done to me for doing that. They could have feared that I would go and tell the bosses and done something bad to me, but they didn't. They treated me like gold. And I think I'm going to end it now because it's been 10 minutes. I'm going to be talking some more about these things. I'm on a roll. Thank you so much for listening too. And if I say anything or cause you to wonder anything and you want to comment, please do. I love the comments and I love to answer them. And give me a like and a subscribe if you feel like it. Thank you for listening. Bye-bye.